Here, attorney, and he has come in several times as an expert on these legal issues. And the battle over Proposition 8, as Paul mentioned, goes to the California Supreme Court today. Explain, Ken, basically what they're going to be doing inside of that courtroom.
Well, they're going to be deciding whether this was actually an amendment to the Constitution or a revision. It sounds very technical, but if it's an amendment, it's constitutional, the vote of the people, and the ban will stay. If it's a revision, they need to get 2/3 of the legislature to vote, and then they have to bring it back to the people and have the vote done again in order for the ban to be lifted or to be stayed. So it's a very technical distinction. It's one that I don't think is going to prevail in favor of people that have voted no on Proposition 8.
Okay, and we talked about the lawmakers, of course. They are proposing legislation basically going against what the ban that the voters approved. Will that help or hurt the case? Will that even have an impact?
Well, this is a political idea that the lawmakers are, depending on what jurisdiction and what district they're in. Obviously, people in San Francisco are going to be voting heavily to allow gay marriage, where people in San Diego and maybe Placer and other counties that are known to be more conservative are going to vote yes or are going to want to continue the ban. So this is just a political agenda that they're trying to put forward. It's not going to have any real impact. This is just in order to rally their bases.
Okay, and then talk about, we've been seeing these protests. There was one last night in San Francisco, and I think they also had 30 others I had read across the United States. Is that helping or hurting the cause?
Depends which side you're on.
Okay.
There's more than 30. There's probably hundreds of protests. The California Proposition 8 has gone global. People in New York, people in Massachusetts, people in New Zealand, not just because of the Academy Awards, but this issue has now struck a chord worldwide. And you have some countries, such as the United Kingdom and Spain, that allow gay marriage, and then other countries absolutely would not. So this has gone much further than just the area of California. This is now a social issue worldwide. So the protests are not just going to be limited to here in California. You're going to see them around the world today.
Do you think that that'll basically, it appears to me that folks who are against Prop 8 are the ones that are out voicing their opinions more than the folks on the other side of the issue. And there's been, police involved in some of these situations. Do you think that'll have an impact on the final result?
I don't. I think both sides have pretty loud voices, and both sides can rally their base and rally their troops very quickly. We saw it here in Sacramento at intersections, signs. So each side has a very strong support base. It comes down to a very close 50-50 if the polls are taken, but I don't think that's going to have an impact. This is a strictly legal issue at this point. The voters of California have voted, right, wrong, or indifferent, whichever side you fall on. It went to the people, and a vote was done. That's the way democracy is supposed to work. But whether it's an amendment or revision is a very technical legal aspect, and these judges are political animals also. They're well aware of what happened to the Rose Bird Court. They're going to make very careful decisions coming up with this issue of whether it's a revision or an amendment.
All right, Ken Rosenfeld, he's going to be coming back and